case keeps getting stranger and stranger. We got some breaking news when it comes to the Bryan Kohberger case. This court document.
Shut up, Dan. What's up, everybody? How we doing this morning on this Friday, May 12th? Hope everybody's doing well. Okay. We're going to do another drunk turkey reaction, as you can tell by my glasses. And when I first, clicked on this video, I could have sworn I did a reaction to this before. And I actually went back and checked, because this is like the third video that Drunk Turkey's done just on Bethany, Funke, and the defense team. And the other two said basically exactly the same thing. So there's nothing new. So I don't know why they keep making the same video just multiple times. It doesn't really make any sense, except people are still watching them, and YouTube's paying them per view. So that's probably why it makes sense to them, right? But anyway, the title, breaking, Bethany Funke makes deal with Kohberger defense, ? Obviously, we know that's not true. I mean, come on. It's obvious clickbait. Why would Bethany Funke make a deal with Kohberger? Come on. Come on, Dan. Why are you doing this to everybody? Anyway, I'll stop talking. Here we go.
Documents just dropped. Found it on Twitter, on Sleuthy Goosey's Twitter page. If you're not following her, I have it.
He's trying to promote Sleuthy. Seems like these same kind of people hang around each other.
Recommend. She's dropping down a lot of court documents. Let's read.
Sleuthy Moosey. Check him out, Sleuthy Moosey.
View them. This is one that comes from the Second Judicial Court in and for.
He won't talk to me anymore for some reason. I don't understand why.
For the county of Washoe, the state of Nevada. Now, before we get into it, I want to remind everybody to please hit that like and subscribe button.
Yep, for True Crime King, hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Come on over. Come on over. I will be glad to have you. Hey, and I actually, appreciate my members, okay? Pretty soon, once I get to a couple more, I'm going to be doing a cash prize giveaway for members only.
And ring that notification bell. That way you're notified when we have breaking news and things of that nature. So let's get into this. The state of Idaho plaintiff versus Bryan Kohberger. This is a stipulation and request.
Don't tell me he's just going to go over the same order for Bethany to show up at the preliminary trial as the other two. I mean, I'm hoping he has something before this starts. I'm hoping he has something that actually makes sense with the title. Remember the title. The title is Bethany Funke makes deal with Kohberger defense, okay? So that's what he should be talking about, right?
Request for order comes now. Kelly Ann Valoria, ESQ, which is the attorney for Bethany Grace Funke. She is the one representing her. She's the family attorney.
Thanks for throwing her middle name in there.
I went over who she was prior to. It says, on behalf of Bethany Grace Funke and Evelyn Grosnick, which is the intern Washoe County Public Defender, on behalf of defendant Bryan Kohberger, and jointly stipulate that the subpoena issued April 11, 2023, commanding Bethany Grace Funke to appear before Second Judicial Court of the state of Idaho, County of Latah County.
I hate what Dan reads. I think last time I told you guys to do something every time I had to fix his mistakes. I think someone counted over 100.
Moscow, Idaho, on June 28th, 2023 shall be withdrawn and or quashed, and that Bethany Grace Funke should be released from the subpoena. The basis for the stipulation is that Bethany Grace Funke, through her attorney, has agreed to an interview with Idaho Defense Counsel in Reno, Nevada, in lieu of proceeding forward with and then the rest of this is redacted. Subpoena for preliminary hearing is now set for June 26th through June 30th.
Yes, all the real important stuff is going to be redacted. Because there's a gag order. I love saying that.
And we have a sign-in date. This is signed
because it seems like most of these creators have forgotten.
26, 2023. So the main thing about this is that they have agreed to speak to each other in referencing what possible explicatory or exonerating evidence that she may have.
Hold on, what? That didn't even make sense.
That could clear Bryan Kohberger of any wrongdoing in this case. You know, we've talked extensively on this. I think I put out a video, and in fact, at the end of this video, I'll make sure that you can click on that page, and that way you can watch that video after.
Seems like Dan's trying to use some big words this time. He usually sticks to, you know, not so big words.
This one. But we talked about how, when it comes to Bethany, that what type of evidence could she possibly be?
It almost seems like he practiced this for once, instead of trying to get it on the first time every time, because he's not too good at that. But he actually sounds a little better in this one. I'll give you some props on that, Dan. You must be taking my advice.
Hold or have. I know there's been some rumors and speculation that's gone out there that she saw somebody running naked outside of the back of the house. I, for one, don't really believe in that story.
It's because it's fake.
It doesn't make any sense. Plus, even if it were true, let's just say that she saw it.
But you did a whole video on it. You believed it at first. So, yeah.
A naked guy run out of the house. Unless she says that person was not at all Bryan Kohberger, and I can identify who that person was, that doesn't exonerate Bryan Kohberger just because she saw some.
Well, we know Dylan saw what is believed to be Kohberger wearing a black mask, and he had bushy eyebrows, same height, walk out the slider. And Dylan made direct eye contact with this individual. Okay, even though, the mask covered up until his bushy eyebrows, apparently. So, Dylan got the best look at him.
Naked guy run out of the...
As we know of so far, right? Bethany didn't see anything. As far as I'm concerned, she heard some stuff, but, she wasn't upstairs. She didn't see anything.
The back of the house, could that naked person have been Bryan Kohberger? And so that evidence doesn't necessarily, in my opinion...
She did not see anybody run out the back of the house naked. That is a false story. Okay, guys? That is totally false. Only Dylan saw somebody, not Bethany.
And exonerate him. However, if she can identify somebody else as being the possible actor in this situation, for instance, perhaps she heard voices, and maybe she recognized one of the voices as somebody that she knew that isn't Bryan Kohberger.
That would be hard to do through a wall. You know what I'm saying? If you have ever lived in an apartment, or just heard somebody talking through a wall, right? Unless you know the part, like it's your brother in his room, right? Or your parent in their room. If it's some stranger at a hotel, right? Like it would be, in this case, some stranger in the room upstairs, and they talked through a wall, you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell who it was. You know what I mean? Unless you really, really know the person and they have a distinct kind of voice. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it would be hard, right?
Perhaps maybe she did see somebody run out the back or somebody run out the front door. Remember, 9 a.m., it was reported that at 9 a.m. the morning of November 13th, prior to the 911 call, neighbors had reported to news outlets, and again, we got to take that with a grain of salt, given the fact that the news outlets have been putting out some pretty wild stuff here recently and stuff that...
Well, so have you. With Kim, first, you did the first interview with Kim, and then you tried to distance yourself as much as possible. You even called Kim I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I want you guys to go watch my other reaction I did when he did his first interview with Kim. Please watch that. Then he tried to distance himself. Then all of a sudden, he must have wanted Kim back all of a sudden because everybody else all of a sudden is having Kim on their show for some reason that I can't understand, because her story has changed so many times. It's ridiculous, and she's a clown as far as I'm concerned.
Honestly, I find hard to believe. But they had put out there that the front door was wide open. Now, she was on the first floor. That front door is on the first floor. So maybe perhaps she did see somebody run out of the first door, maybe not go out towards the back like Dylan Mortensen mentioned. I still don't see how that is, that still leads people to believe that it wasn't Bryan Kohberger, whether he exited the back or whether he exited the front.
There's video camera that has Bryan Kohberger speeding out of the area alone, okay, right around the time this took place, okay? There's nobody else with him. It's Kohberger speeding away from 1122 King Road.
I don't think it makes a difference. It has to be putting either Bryan Kohberger somewhere else. Maybe perhaps she left.
So what I'm saying is there's no evidence whatsoever of anybody else except the people in that house, the DoorDash driver that did not go in the house, and in my opinion was totally random. It was just one of the drunk kids in the house wanted something to eat before they went to bed because they were drunk. Kohberger didn't plan for it, and he probably just waited until they left, and then he went in, and then he sped away. Okay, that's what happened, in my opinion.
I know there's a lot of rumors that she left with him somewhere.
And that's all the facts that we have. We know Kohberger was in there because he was seen, and his DNA was left on a sheath. That somebody, this clown, tried to comment and say, well, the DNA on the sheath was touch DNA. Well, you clown, there was nobody else's DNA on it. And it was under the button, So come on. Are you serious right now? And look up the definition of touch DNA before you comment something like that. You still have to leave your DNA behind. It's ridiculous. Jesus.
I'm not necessarily in favor of that, but it's possible if he went and picked her up, and then
I wish I remember her name. Where I would call her out, but she's still on there. On my last reaction I did to Drunk Turkey, you'll see her on there.
He went back at 9 o'clock and dropped her back off. I still think that is highly unlikely, but is it possible? Yes. Or perhaps maybe she put somebody else in that house. Maybe somebody that had motive. I know the motive has been a big concern for a lot of you guys when it comes to this case. What is Bryan Kohberger's motive in this case? Is it just that the fact that he dislikes women?
Okay, Dan, you're 3/4 through your video, and you haven't said one thing about how Bethany Funke is making a deal with Kohberger's defense. It's the whole title of the video, Dan.
He had been turned down by women. He had been a lot of things. And from all of our information that we have now, he sent message requests or had slid into the DMs of some of these victims, or at least one of them, and those messages may not have ever been read. So I don't know if he's ever actually been turned down by these women. And so, if he's been turned down by other women...
Well, you've made videos. You said that they met where at the Mad Greek, which was wrong, which I said at the time was wrong too, which was proved to be right again. So you've messed up on that, Dan. You said you've made videos on all kinds of other things. You said they texted on Instagram, and now you're saying they haven't. I mean, which one is it, bud?
There's not a trail of young ladies.
If you seriously, if you guys go and look at these my reactions I did on these guys, you'll see how many times they just change their opinions. It's ridiculous. It's like they change their opinions more than they change their clothes.
In that area, just this one, right? And so maybe perhaps you heard somebody who, an ex-boyfriend of someone or a current boyfriend of somebody else.
This is just,
who knows? We have to tune in the 22nd, paperwork that we have referencing wanting to subpoena Bethany Funke as a material witness for the defense. There's more and more evidence leading in the direction that maybe perhaps law enforcement hid something in this case.
Well, we know that they're hiding something. Number one, there's a gag order. Number two, the police have known what Bethany Funke said since day one when they came and they took her statement, right? I mean, so the police already know all this. That's why I'm still 100% convinced Bryan Kohberger is the killer, and I'm still 100% convinced that Bethany Funke has nothing that's going to exonerate or get Bryan Kohberger off of these charges whatsoever.
You've seen it before. They hid the body cam footage when it came to Stickergate. They had a couple of guys that were putting stickers on a pole with in protest of the mask during the C-19 situation that was going on back in 2020.
COVID-19? I mean, what? Why can't you say that, Dan?
And police officers hid the body cam footage and lied under oath when it came to that case. I said at that point, if they're willing to do that and hide certain things for a sticker, what are they willing to do for a quadruple homicide? You guys let me know in the...
What? That makes no sense at all, Dan. And you said nothing about how, but what kind of deal is Bethany Funke making with Kohberger's defense? What are you talking about? This is why I get so mad. And this is why I got to keep doing these reactions on Drunk Turkey, because thousands and thousands of you are watching this and getting your information from these guys, and it's ridiculous. They didn't even talk about what the title is. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until next time, True Crime King out.